Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat, and today is Sunday, November 19th, 2023. I'm surprised I actually made it. I'm surprised that I'm here, if only because to be here, I've had to tear myself away from my new 3D printer. That's right, I bought the 3D printer I'd been talking about, you know, the one that's like super expensive. Hello, cat. Hello, Ollie. Yes, you're sniffy. You're investigating. He's investigating a thing that I have on my desk. Hi. Hello, baby. Hello, baby cat. Do I even have cat on this, like, sources? No, we have to, like, go here and turn on that. You're connected. Yo, you're connected. Come on. There. Hi. Kitty. Sniffies. He's Sniffies. Yes, there's Kitty. There's a kitty cat here. Now. So. Hi, Mr. Cat. Yeah, I got the printer. It was, so Black Friday sales started early, but still, the maker of the printer that I've been looking at, where I specifically said, hey, if it goes on sale for under $750, I'll probably buy it. Normally, on Amazon, $930. Was on sale on a lightning deal fairly recently for $786. And I said, no. It was in my cart. I was going to get it, but then I saw taxes and it was over $800, well over $800 after taxes. I'm like, no. I can wait. I can bide my time. Would have preferred $699.99. Would have preferred $700, but you know what? Under $750, $186 off. where the total sale came up to be under 800 for this Reality K1 Max printer. Yeah, I got it. And it arrived a day early. And it's working perfectly. I'm going to say it's working perfectly right out of the box. I've had to learn a couple of things about it, specifically regarding filament loading. It's a bit finicky, but now that I know what to do, it's not as difficult, because it was pretty difficult at the beginning, but now I know, so now it's not quite as bad. Now, I printed some of my stuff that I sell already. I printed one of these little Game Boy holders. You can tell it's like super flat and shiny. That's because the build platform is like flat, completely flat. It's not textured like the other one is. So yeah, it printed successfully, and it looks actually pretty nice. This printed at 200 millimeters per second speed. 200 millimeter per second speed is what this printed at, with a layer height of 0.3 and a line width of 0.48. Now you can do the math there to figure out, hey, the volumetric flow rate that is like 29 point something, just under 30. And that was what I planned for when I set up the slicer settings, because I made a custom slicer profile for the settings that I wanted it to print at, with the flow rate that I wanted it to print at, because the printer says that it's capable of up to max 32. So I decided, you know what, let's target 30 to be safe and have consistent, good prints, rather than always targeting the max, because you don't want to ever go over the max. So that's a thing that happened. It's good. I printed in black as well in vase mode. There's a little warping, but you know what? It's fine. It can fulfill its function just fine. This was printed a little more slowly at a bit thicker of line width, 0.6 millimeter line width, 0.3 millimeter line height, and 165 millimeter per second speed. For reference, the previous printer couldn't print any faster than 150 millimeters per second, but its volumetric flow rate was 10. These target 30. And the speeds are not quite 3 times as fast, but still double or half the speed minimum. So yeah, that's great. And it came with a roll of white filament. Oh, how glorious it is with my lights here to not be able to see a damn thing with the white filament. But yeah, I can say that it turned out fine. It's a semi-translucent. Actually, most of the filament is, but yeah, it's good. It works. It's pretty solid. My fresher design for this item turned out very well, and I printed it the same thing in vase mode. So we have these printed both on the new printer. Black and white now. We have black, white, red, and blue as colors. And now I have to get like all those listings updated to add white and get pictures of white to add to everything, because I got my free roll, an entire spool, full kilogram, 2.2 pound spool of white filament that came with the machine, which is really nice. That's a 20 some odd dollar value, which, you know, I would hope to get on a machine that's cost just under $750 and normally $930. I will say that the machine costs less on the Creality website, but I would rather just get it from Amazon. That all being said, that's been consuming my life. Oh yeah, one more thing. My phone case arrived. I got the phone case. Finally got a case. It arrived. Yes, that is a shiny Umbreon. That is shiny Umbreon. Very, very excited, about to attack. But still, yes. It's nice. It's nice. My only complaint about this. Now, I really like the grippies. It's nice that it has the grippies. My only complaint, that right there. That hole's not big enough. That hole for the USB-C, as I found out last night, not quite big enough. And I mean like fraction of a millimeter not quite big enough. It pushes out the USB cable that I use upstairs by my bed to charge the thing. So I'd have to find among my USB-C cables something that's a little bit thinner on the end piece to work with this, or I have to cut it myself to be a little bit bigger. Just a hair bigger of a hole is required for this. It's a shame. It was so close to perfection, but it ain't perfect. I'd have to give it like a 4-star rating on Amazon if I gave ratings. Just because of that, because they've limited the types of USB-C cables that you can use for charging the phone because they didn't make the hole big enough. Oh well. Oh well. At least it looks nice. At least it looks nice. And the most important part, it sits flat. It sits flat. That is the only reason I bought a case for the phone, is so that it can sit flat and not rock back and forth because of the stupid lenses sticking out the back. So, oh yeah, we also went shopping for Thanksgiving. Reminder, by the way, we're not streaming on Thursday because of US Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be a bit occupied on that day. But hey, while we were at the store, I got some hot sauce. I got some hot sauce. I haven't had a bottle of hot sauce in a little while. This is the Bravado Spice Company. Ghost Pepper and Blueberry. Ghost Pepper and Blueberry hot sauce. And I tried a little bit. I tried a little bit last night on some frozen Hawaiian pizza from Walmart. And you know what? It's actually pretty good. We got this at Harris Teeter. And it should last a while. My only complaint, I should have paid attention. I should have looked at the ingredients beforehand. My only complaint is that it's vinegar based. I don't like the taste of vinegar just in general, but it's tolerable in this. I cannot have Tabasco sauce, not because it's too hot, but because I just despise the flavor. I hate it so much. I hate the overpowering taste of the vinegar that they use in like Tabasco sauce. I can't. It's not even a sauce. It's water. It's water. It's vinegar. It tastes terrible. And Tabasco's barely even hot. It's like you're just adding vinegar with a slight tinge. Anyway, I try to avoid the vinegar-based hot sauces whenever I can, but I just didn't pay attention this time. This is rice vinegar though, so it's not quite as bad. Actually, But the number one ingredient is actually blueberries. It's like, okay, well, number one is blueberry, so... And then number two is vinegar, and then red ghost pepper puree with sea salt, lemon juice, and black pepper. That's the ingredients on that hot sauce. It is decent hot sauce. Had a drop on pizza, and it was okay. It was okay. I'm gonna primarily have like a drop in ramen noodles, as how I have this hot sauce. It's just gonna be like a drop in a bowl of ramen noodles in the end, and it'll make it actually taste really nice. If you haven't had hot sauce, if you haven't put hot sauce in ramen noodles, do so. Try it. It's really good. Just right into the soup, mix it up, get it incorporated. It ends up diluting the heat, and you get more of the added flavor from the hot sauce. It's really, really nice. Gives it that little something extra that it tends to need. Okay, the game. Factorio. Hello. Welcome. We're here. I'm so glad that I can like look over and watch my 3D printer printing now, because it has a camera on it. And I am printing right now another item in white to add to the list of things. Just the top items each in a row getting printed, starting from the Game Boy game holder thing, then the Nintendo 64 stand thing, that's that guy behind me. The next one is a Game Boy 6 cartridge display stand. It's basically this, but plan sized for 6 Game Boy cartridges. And then I'll have one that's 3 tiers, designed for Game Boy Advance cartridges, for 9 of them. That'll be the next thing, but whatever. Game! Last time we met was what? What was last time? Neuroprocessors. I'm pretty sure that was the goal. And we hit it pretty quickly. So, yay. There's neuroprocessors. They exist, and they are actually currently being brought to the mall, which is nice. And we've got our advanced locomotives. I've been using those as well. Yeah, so I did that last time. I forget what else we were really working on. I mean, I got industrial solvent online. I got grease online as well. We got the next lit matrix online for the neuroprocessors. So we did all of that stuff when we last met. And we were beginning to work on something and didn't finish it. We were working on diamonds. We began the process of working on diamonds, and I forget exactly where I began this. It was all the way up here. So we're going to go up there, where we're going to build out the rest of the diamonds, and we're going to work on Aerogel next. Factory Planner has been updated, and it will no longer spam you about the matrix solver stuff every single time it wants you to find something. It's not going to pop up something and prevent you from keeping to work on the planner, and it moves the thing to the bottom of the window. Now, this came with a rewrite of the back end of Factory Planner, apparently, and while they said that they fixed most of the bugs, I have found a game-breaking bug with Factory Planner. Just so as we're aware, in this most recent version of Factory Planner, there is a bug that will crash the save, specifically when the Factory Planner is in its compact mode. if you're in compact mode, if I were to hover over the outputs, the save will crash. Now send me back to the main menu. If I hovered over the aerogel right now of the output, it would crash in this mode. In this mode, it's fine. You can hover over the products just fine, but it something with creating the tooltip is referencing a null value, and it crashes. But specifically in compact, it's weird. This will be the factory that I built today for the aerogel. There's quite a bit more Mark II stuff in this list now. I did go through and start making a bunch of Mark II stuff. And those with eagle eyes can also see we have bacon. We have some diet bacon, but we have bacon now. I have 11 of them on me, which is even better. But we're going to work on the diamonds. The diamonds is what I will work on. And yeah, here's the funny thing about the diamonds. If you were not aware, because I have Mark II stuff for the diamonds now, because I have this Mark II stuff for the diamonds now, there's this interesting little behavior with diamonds in that its processing chain has quite a few byproducts that loop back, which means that because I have every recipe productive, we don't need an input of kimberlite for this. Once it starts moving, I sort of don't need kimberlite anymore. So it'll just become a matter of how much infrastructure I have for the amount of diamonds that I want. Because even at Mark II buildings, it's not the case with Mark I buildings across the board, but it is the case with Mark IIs with the extra module slot. Essentially, yeah, the feedback is such that it'll actually overproduce the byproducts to the point where it doesn't need any extra inputs. So that's what we're going to be building. First thing, very first thing. Now, it does still need the other inputs, the grease and the industrial solvent, aromatics, it still needs inputs. It just doesn't need the ore input. That's the key. That is the key thing. Now, I do need to pay attention to how many productivity modules I have on me as I place them in here, in these things. Just need to make sure that I have enough for the rest of the build. Don't know what I'll do with the saline, though. We'll see. We shall see with the saline what I end up doing. I think I want to do the same thing with the saline, loop the salt around, because that doesn't need that many buildings either. Even fewer buildings with bacon. Speaking of which, I want to show bacon. I want to show what I've done through the power of bacon, and that is here at titanium. Down here at titanium, in between streams, through the power of bacon, I have enhanced my titanium setup, my titanium plate setup. Previously, I was producing a few plates, not even a belt of plates, through grade 3 titanium processing, which was the max at the time, and it was using like 75 per second of ore. to make like 5 plates, something along those lines. Now, it's using 30 ore, around 30 ore, and it's making 15 plates per second through grade 4 titanium processing. Yes, I could go all the way through molten processing. There is another set of steps to go through, and yes, that would be more ore efficient. But I sort of like the idea of having 7 buildings to make an entire yellow belt of output here of titanium plates. I think I like this concept. And the other way would require me to make like MIBC and some other inputs. It's like, okay, well, I could just do this and avoid any outside inputs at all. With that, I also have access to the next phytomining rank, which gives me access to chelator recipes. And yeah, let's just say that the chelator recipes are significantly better than the non-chelator recipes for making the enriched biomass. Remember that titanium we can only get through enriched biomass phytomining with Yadels. So what was a build of like 900 Yadel plantations, yeah, now it's down to 81. Spending some moss and seaweed for the chelators for it, and also using productivity and Mark II pulp mills to get our 30-ish. This is planned for about 30 ore per second, not the 75 plus that it was before. Yeah, is nice. Is nicer, smaller, far fewer entities, which is the most important thing. Oh God, will we... Just moving my mouse. They didn't specifically mention that particular bug, but we shall see if that crash is fixed with this update to Factory Planner. That just went through just now. Let us see if that fixes that issue, because that issue is particularly annoying. That one is particularly annoying. Please be an autosave with me, like, at that location. At the diamonds. Please, like, be at diamonds. Please don't make me have to sit through going to diamonds again. Or be, like, in the train at the diamonds, or on the way to the diamonds. Come on, you can do it. Load. Loading. Loading. Come on. Or not. Or not. There you go. Hi. We back. We are not at diamonds. Great. Hello. Mr. Cat. Yes, Mr. Cat. Hi, Ollie. Mr. Ollie Cat. Ollie cat, Ollie cat. Yes, oh, you're getting comfy. Oh, he's getting comfy. Yes, Ollie cat getting comfy. Have they fixed that issue with the pin mode? Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God it's fixed. So, Diamond. Hi. Pin and... Yes! Thank God. It's no crashy. It's no crashy anymore. Well, that update was timely. Would have been nice to have been done beforehand, about an hour beforehand, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine, we got it now. We got it now, that's the boy. That's the baby. He's the baby, he's the sweetie. Yes, he's the sweetie. He's the sweetie, Ollie cat. The Ollie cat. Yeah. Yes, the Ollie cat. He wants his pets. He's here. He's ready. So if you're here for Aerogel, we're going to do the Aerogel immediately after finishing Diamonds, which we began last time. And we built the back end of Diamonds. And have some mining, but as we've done the thing, we've figured out, oh hey, or I figured out, oh hey, if I have Mark II stuff, then yeah, I don't even need the Kimberlite anymore. Yes, it is, I hope at least somewhat funny that the moment I'm like, oh, I hope that I don't crash the game, I immediately crash the game. Like, as I'm speaking, as I say, I really think that it's going to crash with trying to work with the pinned thing. Because just literally moving the mouse over the thing would make it crash. And it's like, well, I gotta click on the thing to get the blueprint, and you have to sort of go over it like that, so... Yeah, a bit of a slight functional issue there. But hey, at least it won't complain anymore when the matrix mode needs stuff to find. It won't stop you in your tracks anymore with a pop-up message. That makes this infinitely more usable. Now they just need to add in temperature and spent fuel results. Now they just need to add temperature and spent fuel results, and ideally also power generation. That would be great. Those three things added to Factory Planner would make it feature, like, basically feature parity with Hell mod. Except, you know, an actual functional mod that works. You know, that would help immensely, having a mod that actually works. That processes rejects. Need this guy, then this guy, this guy. So that takes in crush. So this crushes, this takes crushed, makes rejects plus grade 1. That's where this guy comes in. The rejects to make more crushed. From there, the grade 1 goes into... no, that's grade 2. I need the grade 1. Oh, there's the grade 1. Grade 1 into 2 plus 3. This is the first of the actual used steps, is grade 2 into additional grade 3. This process is grade 3. No, this process is the rejects into additional 2 that goes back. So actually, I want to flip these. Because that'll be a byproduct into grade 2. This will be grade 2 into 3. This is the grade 3 into pulp. Please have these. Thank you. Thank you, Lordy. That makes residues. Where do the residues get processed? Who processes residues? Do they? It's all the way at the bottom of my list. Great. Hi. This processes residues into rejects. Oh, hey, we need to shift the whole thing up a bit. Because actually, it's this guy. That's first. Residues make rejects. Residues are also brought out from the very last step as well. Alright, so we have that. Then we have another pair of centrifugal pans. These will also have diamond rejects. And the rejects will go down. 2 jigs. Am I carrying the jigs? Of course not. Am I carrying Mark II jigs? Because I actually do have Mark II access for jig. For the jiggy jig. I'm going to go and see about that because I do actually have access to Mark II jigs. It technically exists, and if I could only use 1 versus 2 and have the extra module, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Either way, I need jigs. Jig, jig, jiggy, jig. Where are the jigs? Jigs. Here. I have 4 of them! Excellent. They are there. They exist. For Mark II. I do not have Mark II grease tables. I do not have Mark II desulfurizators. They take a bit longer to craft. There's some other buildings that I could set at Mark II, or that I have set at Mark II in the petroleum handling stuffs that I haven't set yet. I haven't started making yet because they're not immediately relevant. The one that I did do though that for whatever reason gets unlocked with petroleum handling buildings is the chemical plant. Mark II chem plants. Those are very necessary, very useful. They are a coal processing building, and yet they unlock with the petroleum handling buildings technology, which is a little weird, but that's just the way it goes. I will also say, hello again, Mr. Cat, now he's rubbing my legs. I will also say that it's also a little bit weird that we will not get a few other Mark II buildings until Pi 3. Mr. Cat, if you just heard a whole bunch of popping, that was Mr. Cat, rubbing the XLR cable to the microphone. So I don't know if the static from his fur went through the mic. Mr. Cat, over there. What are you doing? What are you doing on that piano? What are you doing up on that piano? On my piano that I can't even use in its current position. I really don't know what came over me, why I wanted to have the piano. Why? Why did I buy that big thing? Massive thing. The freaking full-sized electric piano that I proceeded to spill coffee into by cat, of course. I think it still works. I have to like hook it up one of these days, see if those keys are actually still working. But I don't have room. Ollie. Now he's rolling. Now he's rolling. Why you rolling? Why you roly-poly? Why are you roly-poly? I don't have space in my corner. And if I like move it to a spot where there is space, then I don't have a plug for it. This office like sucks for plugs. So does the other office. There's only 2 plugs in the other office as well, but in here, the 2 plugs, there's the one that's on the other side of my desk, one single spot. The other one is in the closet next to me. It's like in the back of this big closet. This is a converted garage. So the walls technically are cinder block, and they have little thin paneling in front of the cinder block. And yeah, if I want to like add any outlets in here, the amount of space that they left between the panels and the cinder block is insufficient for doing it actually properly. I can't fit a box for plugs in that gap. They didn't leave enough room. So I would need, in order to get enough room, I would have to saw through cinder block. Yeah, that ain't happening. That's not happening. That will not be happening. I guess in the alternative, I would have to get an external enclosure. I could get an external enclosure, and I could add the outlets that way. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, what I would prefer is having another circuit to here. Another, use another breaker to add another line into the office, to have a dedicated line specifically for the computer. That's step 1, but the wiring in this house is awful. Oh, it's quite bad. It's quite bad. I would, yes, I could 3D print an enclosure. I'm uncertain about what material I would want to use for that, specifically because that would mean if I had to use anything other than PLA, that I would need to buy a spool of whatever filament to use for that. If it needs to be heat resistant, dealing with electrical equipment, then most likely it would have to be done in ABS, which has its own entirely separate set of issues when working with 3D printing, because yeah, it gases really toxic chemicals when you melt the stuff for 3D printing. So you sort of need to have a whole bunch of proper ventilation equipment for the room in which you're doing the 3D printing in ABS with, that I'm not gonna bother with. It's just not gonna happen. So they brought me the jigs. I can head on back. Yeah, it has some rather volatile, toxic gas that it exudes. So the problem with shallow boxes, I did look into shallow boxes. The issue there, I I wasn't exactly sure if there was actually even enough room for a shallow box, but what I wanted was a dual slot box. And I couldn't find a shallow dual slot box. Actually, I wanted it for the spot behind me. I didn't actually originally want to be facing this way on this. I didn't want to be on this wall. I wanted to be on that wall. Originally, I wanted to be on that back wall for my setup, or this wall for my setup. More likely than not on this wall, the wall for the closet, and have my setup as L-shaped, set up against the two walls in that corner with a fresh socket over there. So here's where things get tricky about the wiring of this house. The line to the light fixture, the light switch on the other side of the room, that light switch is on a separate circuit from the other outlets in this room. That light switch is on the same line for the light above, is on the same line as outlets that are on the wall, on the wall in the den behind me. On that same wall, there's 2 outlets there, and it does the outlets into the office on the other side. So it's got 2 outlets to the other office, 2 outlets to the den, the light switch, and the washing machine. And the washing machine outlet in the laundry room, which has the box. When I discovered that was the case, I was screaming. Yes, that was one of those, who in the F did the wiring in this house? They must not have been an electrician, because that's not good. That's not good. The washing machine should not be on the same circuit as any other outlet. It should be its own separate circuit, dedicated exclusively to the washing machine. And yet, it's not. This was very easily discovered when the circuit breaker tripped when trying to vacuum at the same time as using the washing machine. It tripped the breaker. Obviously. Something that should never have happened. Should never be a possibility to happen, and yet it did. I'm like, what? Who the hell did this? Who is to blame? That feeds right back into here. Great. Great. Input left. Filter gravel. Right. Yeah, that's the, that's one of my stories about the, horribleness of the wiring in this house. And then of course, there's the other part about the wiring in this house. About how basically none of the wiring includes a ground wire in the entire house. I shouldn't do that way. There's no ground wires in the vast majority. So what I have had to do in order to incorporate having grounded outlets in the house was run them off of GFCI outlets. I had to find who was the first in the series and replace that with a GFCI outlet, and then on all the others that I've made, put in grounded outlets, have little stickers saying that they're GFCI protected on all of them, which is how I discovered all of the different circuits in the house and what everything goes to, what goes where. Another fun part is that there's also a really large circuit in this house that encompasses the backside of the den behind me and the vast majority of every single outlet upstairs in both of the bedrooms. And it covers 3 outlets at the bottom and another 1, 2, 3. I think there's a third over there. 4, 5 upstairs. And then both the bathrooms share a circuit. Both bathrooms upstairs share a separate circuit when they should both each have their own. What else? Oh yeah, there's one random outlet up in the master bedroom. One random outlet that has its own separate circuit. Guess how I found that one out? The hard way. The way that could have potentially ended in my death. That was fun. Yes, Mr. Cat, he's here. He is here. Hi. He is here. He is happy. My only saving grace really being that I happened to grab... I was replacing the outlet with a better one that had, you know, all the prongs on it. There is actually plenty of room in the panel box. Yes, we've got space to add several more circuits in the box. It's just a matter of doing it and ideally having someone do it and having the money to do so. Big yawn. Yes, big yawn, kitty. My only saving grace with that replacement when I figured out that, oh, this is actually a live outlet was that I happened to hold it on live and neutral. So it flowed from one finger and out the other direct and did not go through me. Hey. Stop. Yet. That was pretty much my only saving grace, and I nearly had a heart attack from the shock, the mental shock of what just happened. Anyway, there's stuff, things. Where's the output here? I need to build. Hello. Hello on Twitch chat. Yes, we are. We are a little crazy, as always. But you know, I think by playing with all of this stuff being productive that it's somewhat reasonable actually now. So what do we get here? We get grade 2 and grade 3, and this eats grade 1. That eats residues. That eats That eats rejects and makes grade 2. This is grade 2 in to make 3. Okay, we're going uppies all the way to here. We're filtering the grade 2 to the right. We're doing this. We're going out. We're doing this. Input left. Still struggling on the aluminium? Yeah, so hate to break it to you, but you probably just have to mine it. You probably just have to mine it. There's a few things you just have to mine. I think at that point, don't you just no, there is absolutely ore. You just have to go and find it. The map spawns with ore. If you manually turned off all of the ore types, your run is toast. You'll have to install map gen settings mod, the change map settings mod, and re-enable everything to spawn in, because specifically you must have volcanic pipes spawning on the map. You must have volcanic pipes in the current state of this mod. You will not be able to get any diamonds without volcanic pipes in the current state. And you need that to progress into Pi 3. Oh yeah, the ad started. Dang. They're in progress. There's a minute and a half left. Yeah. So you will need the volcanic pipes for diamonds. You can't progress without them. They will be required for Pi 3. All right. What am I doing? That goes in there, makes more grade 3. This outputs grade 3 and gravel. Another one that outputs gravel. Okay, the ads on Twitch should be done. So just to, as now ads on YouTube are starting in the next minute. So just to reiterate, this mod is not currently balanced around this mod is not currently balanced around not having access to any ores. Do not manually turn off the ores in the startup settings because they are required. They are required. This mod is still in beta. Quotes around beta. Even though there are technically ways to get the vast majority of all of the ores from scratch at most phases, specifically diamonds, you don't get access to before they are required for Pi 3. this instance that we're doing right now, this build that we're doing right now, hinges upon having n amount of the kimberlite ore from volcanic pipe. It must be gotten this way. There's no other alternative way of having this before Pi 3, and it's needed to get Pi 3. After Pi 3, there is a way to get into the diamond chain without the kimberlite, but not before Pi 3 to get into it in the first place. That is an example of a thing that is actually just broken from the concept of it being a SeaBlock style of playthrough, where it just is not SeaBlock style playthrough. Grade 3 plus lime. All right, we got lime plus grade 3 into that building right there. So there's lime in. And that makes this stuff. That will make residues. Residues, processing. All the way down here at this spot. Yeah, that spot. Yeah, and you need the trees as well. That's the other thing. You do need to have trees enabled. You get little islands for a reason. There's trees, and you'll have to... Well, you'll have rocks regardless, so you can get the moss from rocks on islands. But yeah, you have to have the trees for sap. Alright. What do you output? That plus gravel again. These guys. Outputting grade 2, and this is grade 2. And gravel. So many things. Outputting gravel here. Right, taking the diamond tailings. All this combines. It goes into one of these. No, I mean one of this guy? Yes. Jig! The jiggy jig. Water concentrate into fluid sep. And that makes 1, 2, and 3 of grade of water. Da, 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 da. 1. 2, 3. Weirdly, 2 of them output tailings, while 1 of them outputs muddy sludge. Bit of an oversight there. They should all be consistent, and yet they're not. Tar and slaked lime and industrial solvent. These all output crude diamonds. Crude diamonds get processed with stuff. Sulfuric acid. What do you need diamond for to get before you get diamond? It is Pi Science 3. The recipe for Pi Science 3 requires industrial diamonds. And you can't get diamonds through non-mining means prior to having Pi Science 3. This science pack requires industrial diamonds. And the processes to get the diamonds don't unlock until after you have Pi 3. / production science, even, for some of it. So it's either Simic blood into kimberlite pulp, which is production science, or it's nucleosynthesis particle acceleration, which is also production science. And you have to get Pi 3 before you can get production science, so yeah. That's where the problem lies. You have to mine it to get science. I'm not talking about when you unlock the diamond chain. I'm talking about that you need industrial diamonds to get Pi 3. And that's the first time you'll need diamonds. Yeah, of course, you have to have the diamond chain unlocked before Pi 3 just to be able to get it in the first place. The issue is that there's no way without mining the diamonds. That's what I'm pointing out, is that you must mine diamonds because the diamond chain needs the diamond ore, needs the kimberlite ore to function. This is where's the residues? Residuals? Here. Huh? Oh, it was you. Oh. Oh. Need to do that here then. Yeah, it's not that the diamond science itself is blocked by anything, no. It's that diamonds are needed to make science. And you can't get the diamonds without kimberlite ore, and you can't get kimberlite ore without directly mining it. This was lime. Yeah. Oh boy. So that is the chain. I am apparently missing modules. Four modules short? Really? Well, the way to solve this is through the power of bacon. The immense power of bacon through a 5/5 bacon. This will allow me to remove those two buildings. I don't even need this to be 5/5, really. It just needs to plus 100% the buildings, if even that. Shall I explain how the beacons work now? How these specific diet beacons work? Beacons have settings, AM and FM frequencies. Each combination of AM FM frequencies may only affect a single entity per beacon type. So while this beacon can affect multiple entities, those entities can only be affected by a single combination of beacon settings. So I cannot have another AM FM 1/1 here and have those effects transmitted to the same buildings. You can, however, change the setting by 1, and they will work fine. That is the intent, is that, yeah, it's only one combination each per building. So, yes, you can have an array of 25, each set to a different setting. AM1 and then FM1 through 5, AM2 and FM1 through 5, AM3, FM1 through 5, AM4, FM1 through 5, and AM5, FM1 through 5. You can have all of them affecting the same building to maximize the amount of strength of your modules on that one building, or a couple buildings. And it is quite powerful, but it is most useful. It is most useful with these types of scenarios where you are reducing the entity count with just a few of the beacons. It can become a bit overkill. Of course, the power is going to be massive. Power usage will become massive. So that's there. Oh. All of that is gravel, huh? God modules cannot be put into the beacons. I do not have that setting set to enable productivity beaconing. I can only put these beacons in, or these modules into these beacons. So speed or efficiency, and that's it. I said at the beginning that I wouldn't do that because it is particularly strong. If I were to allow productivity beaconing, I would already be at a point where the entire balance is utterly destroyed. If you think that this is destroying the balance by making it so that there's actually no need for the Kimberlite in once we get our like initial units of grade 2, where we're looping back more than enough resources, yeah, just imagine having productivity beaconed across 25 beacons on a single building like Circuit 2's production. I forget what the actual total combined module effect is. What is the total combined module effect of all 25 settings? I've forgotten. It's... with the diet beacons, when they're set to 5.5, it outputs 2.5, I think. 5.5 is 2.5 with 2 modules. So that would be 10% productivity. 10 times 2 times 2.5. That one beacon alone would add 50% productivity. 50% productivity with this one beacon. Add one more beacon on 5.4. That adds another 40% productivity. So now you've got 90% productivity on one building on top of the modules that are in the building in the first place, the other 10%. So you're already more than doubling the output of the building off of 2 beacons. There's 23 more, albeit each one sequentially weaker than the previous one. So in the end, I'm pretty sure it's like 3x, around 3x on a single building. If everything is productive, it would inflate the power by a huge margin, but it would mean like getting 3 cycles for the cost of 1, or 4 cycles for the cost of 1 on any given item across all items. So the question is, how silly do we want this to be? Because certainly it would speed up progress considerably. How quickly do we want the game to end? Our save to end? How quickly do we want to get to the end? Is essentially the question. Do we want to get there quickly? I would like to get there quickly, honestly. I would like to make progression, meaningful progression in every stream. What is quickly? Yeah, that's another good point. Like how quickly is quickly, and if I were to do the silly stuff, I would build at larger scale, right? Like as part of that. Like I would build at much larger scales as well, because I can. So it's like, how do we balance this? Like, what becomes my production goal then? Because I would clearly need some semblance of production goal that needs to be stratospheric if we're going to go through the effort of having everything be productive through and have beaconed productivity. That being said, one other thing to consider, God modules have a pollution effect specifically. So you can't use God modules in beacons even with allowing productivity in the beacons. Because of the pollution effect, because the beacons do not allow pollution effect. And they don't allow the pollution effect specifically because if they did, you could use all of the creature modules in the beacons. So if I really wanted to be able to use the God modules in the beacons, I would have to A, enable the beaconing of productivity effect, and I would have to modify the beacons to allow the pollution effect. Then we could use God modules on the beacons, and then each module would have 50% productivity times 2 modules. In the late game with the full-sized beacons on 5.5, the effect is 12.5x. The distribution efficiency of a 5.5 late game beacon, 12.5. That's 625% productivity. The non-God module, the pure productivity module, is a mere 40% at level 8. So 40 times 12.5 would be 500% productivity, and just productivity, no speed, no efficiency, just the productivity. Because, you know, the God modules would also include speed and efficiency. Thus, why they're called God modules. So I've been hesitant to allow productivity as a beaconed effect because I know that when I get level 8 modules, that it would be on a single high full-size beacon 500% for a 5.5. And there's 5.4, and there's 5.3, and 5.2, and 5.1. It gets a little insane. It gets a little insane. Just a little bit. It makes basically everything in the game free. Even if you can just beacon the non-God modules, like everything is basically free. And how fun would that be? / not fun would that be? If everything were free. I mean, do we want that to be this game? This playthrough? I have named this Productive Pyanodons, so this series is Productive Pyandons, and all of the recipes are productive. Just, how much more shall we be? Do we want to be so productive that everything is free? Or nearly free? I mean, I'm okay with it either way. It's just, you know, we need to make some progress here. Where... Oh, I didn't actually route the... Ha. Well, that's annoying. That's ever so slightly annoying. I mean, that works. That will work. Oh, and this... Oh, yeah, this has its output here. All right. I think this whole thing can go just as soon as I route all of the pipe logistics here. So here's aromatics. Well, I mean, sure, if we want to see all of the shenaniganery, I can absolutely commit shenaniganery. Really? Of course, the first thing that I would do in order to commit even more shenaniganery would be to shenanigan the shenanigans. As in, the first thing I would focus on would be maximizing my production of modules and beacons, because if I allow myself to beacon productivity, at that point, I must have infinite amounts of productivity modules and beacons. Infinite amounts. And that actually takes some time to ramp up that particular production. Specifically, it takes a while to ramp up the production of the silicon wafers and the, aramid / molybdenum for the silicon wafers, for the doped silicons, for all of the other intermediates needed to get into circuit 2s. So, like, the whole chain of circuit 2s would need massive improvement. Especially if I'm not beaconing speed. Industrial solvent. Then, who is next? Next. Alright, we've got these three. The grease, the tar, and the organic solvent. Grease, tar, and organic solvent. And sulfuric acid is the last one. I think with this one that the best course of action / the only course of action should be whatever I feel like doing. Whatever's going to give me the most enjoyment out of the save. Oh yeah, slaked lime. I slake the lime locally so I can pull this pipe all the way down. I slake lime local and I soda ash local, so I have to also pull down the soda ash line. Of course you're there. I think that I would have fun. I think I would have fun doing more productivity shenanigans with beacons. I think the beacon thing would be fine. Hey, it is that time. Yet again. To take a break. Even though I totally wanted to, like, be done with this by now. Great. I wanted to get, like, done with Aerogel today. Oh, you output crude diamonds as well. Where are crude diamonds? Here, and you are... Wait. What? Oh, you go in here, right, and this... Oh yeah, you got that too, okay. Okay. So we're not quite done with this. I've got quite a bit more pipe work to do. I have to hook up the tar and the organic solvent and the sulfuric acid. And once I do that, we should be done with this build. And then we'll think about, like, enabling the productivity setting. It is time to take a brief break. We are about halfway through today's stream. I will be back in a few minutes. And I have returned. Welcome back. We are going to wrap up the diamonds rather quickly here. This next item is tar. Yep, that's the tar input. Let's get that going. Oh, goody, I have to shift it. Shift it a bit. Shift it over just a bit. Oh boy. And I think at this point I will commit to shenanigans. All of the shenanigans. Every last one. So, that being said, that will change some stuff. That will change a few designs. Just so we're aware. That will affect things greatly. Organic solvent. There. And then this one here. There we go. That'll make washed diamonds, and then the diamonds will get washed and make industrial diamonds. And the feedback will be such that I will not need any additional input over time from this grade 2 processing step. So I just have to make sure down at the grade 2 processing step milestone, we made diamond. We did the did. We did the do. We do the diddy. So from grade 2 processing to making of grade 2 and 3, actually, I don't need this as an input anymore. Oh goodness, that's not even destroying stuff. Huh? Is there... What? Is there a stack? Did I stack some? Yes. Sigh. Duck. That's better. Oh yeah, you're supposed to go somewhere, huh? Were. Don't need to anymore, because all this can die. Pretty much all of it? All these 4 steps can go away at this point. And the diamonds shall flow. There's diamonds right there. Diamonds be flowing freely. Alright, stick a dude. Stick those 2 dudes. Limit the chests. Give acetylene. Name. Supply diamonds. Depot diamonds. I said go. Be free, do your thing. We're going to save the game. And we have to change the startup setting. So the game has to reload. We have to quit the game. Mods. Or no, settings. Mod settings. Startup settings. Bob's Modules Mod. We're looking for the last setting in this list. Transmit productivity. Alright. Confirm. We're going to transmit productivity. I can't make immediate use of this to any particularly great degree. I'll do what I can, though. I'll put it on my Circuit 2s. Circuit 2s and SAM. Circuit 2s and SAM could use it, but I think at the moment, the first, or shall I say, the next 25 beacons that I make are all going to go to the Circuit 2 production to make more Circuit 2s. Yeah, there is something to say about doing it directly to the beacon building, beacon producing building, as well as to the productivity module producing building. A neutronic reactor. Load. We could say let the frames begin, because there will be an effect to the frames because of this. I would hazard a guess and say that given enough beacons transmitting productivity across the base, that the scale of the backend stuff will be significantly lessened as a direct result. To the point where I may actually have frame rate again. So yes, let the frames begin. We need all of the frames. We need them all. Okay, we're here. We back, and if I plonk that, we can see, oh, I did do the thing already. Oh, I forgot. My productive Pyanodons mod changes this building, changes the beacons to allow the thing is it productive Pyandons, or did I actually do it in the Bob's mods for Pyandons mods? I probably did it in Bob's mods for Pyandons, my compatibility mod. I did put pollution, allow pollution on this, which is odd, actually. Oh right, don't they have a -1 prod on some of these? No, they have a pollution effect. Weird. Weird. Interesting. Yes, at the end. I generally speaking have done this type of thing at the very end of playthroughs. I wanted to see specifically, like, the inherent reason behind having the setting to allow productivity on every recipe was specifically so that we could experience that through an entire save, because I wanted to see what it would be like to have that through a whole save. Now we're just going to do it with transmit productivity as well. And have it just be a thing for the whole save. Yeah. I sort of need to have some productivity modules, though, so have I even made any more? There's one. Great, I'm going to have to force a few made, but in the meantime, we do have a goal. I do have a, title for today's stream. It's called Aerogel. We need to make this stuff today, so I don't, lie about my intent for the day. We sort of spent the day doing diamonds when I do want to get Aerogel. I don't want to lie or be a liar. We're gonna set this to 1 because it's gonna change with stuffs, and I may as well just have it like 1 building stuffs wherever possible. You are making local melamine resin? That's not gonna happen. No. I'm not gonna make local melamine resin. Are you kidding me? The rest of this looks okay, and some of this will be other factories later. It's just I want to get this out of the way. That does not need a module. This, though, this could use modules. Hey, did anyone watch Starship Go Boom yesterday? I watched Starship Go Boom yesterday. It was pretty. Well, the booster Go Boom was pretty. We didn't really get to see Starship Go Boom yesterday. But it did go boom. They both went boom. At least they got through stage separation, which was great. Like, it performed a lot better than expected. Still, though, boom. It went kerblooey. Aw, I was off still. Oh, yeah, I have to make that too. Alright. Let me do that. Oh yeah, I need these. I need some light. I need light. I know I don't have those. It's RUD, Rapid Unplanned Disassembly. But hey, at least their automated flight termination systems worked. Wow, this is really slow. Holy crap. I want to make it very, very clear because I have seen articles get this wrong online, having watched it live and actually knowing about it. The flight termination system on Starship, the booster and the second stage ship, it's fully automated. There is no one on the ground with a button that they can push to destroy the thing. No one at SpaceX pushed a button to explode the rocket. It did so automatically on its own. So, any article that even says anything about SpaceX blew up the rocket is wrong. The rocket blew itself up. Because it's fully automated. And even CNN got it wrong. And I was annoyed. Highly annoyed. Like, you know nothing about this rocket. Absolutely nothing. And it's obvious you know nothing. Like, that is an important detail. SpaceX did not decide to blow up the rocket. The rocket blew up because its automated system decided itself that it needed to blow up. That the data it received crossed a line, at which point it then blew up. Now, I saw articles on CNN. It said that that SpaceX blew it up. It was very much, at least live at the time, as they were pushing the articles. They may have corrected by now because of, people with actual brains telling them about it. But when they first wrote the articles, they did not know that it was automated. They assumed that a button was pushed, basically, to destroy the rocket. And that did not occur. It blew itself up. It was automated. And I'm sure that if SpaceX did a press conference since then, which I'm sure if they haven't already, they will be shortly, that it would be made very clear there that it was an automated system. But yeah, just the initial reporting as the event happened, they made it seem like SpaceX themselves blew up the rocket when it was automated. Yeah, but they were saying that they blew up the booster when they did not. That was automated. Very, very automated. They were talking about the booster blowing up as being something that, oh, they saw that it was out of spec and they blew it up. No, they did not. It blew itself up. Automatically, the computer on the thing blew it up, not a person deciding to blow it up. No, that's not what happened. I need circuits. There. Stealing some circuits. I won't even have any of the productivity modules for any of this. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. All right. Who has circuits? Whole half sufficient circuits. You, yes, you have sufficient circuits. There's a few buildings where they've built and filled the buffers. I just have to find them. You are full. And that should give me a few modules, and my intent is I'm going to use these modules at Circuit 2s to buff the Circuit 2 production first. As best I can. Ideally 22 modules when I go out there to fill all these beacons. And then we'll go and we'll do the placement of the buildings for the aerogel and get the aerogel. Aerogel is fairly simple. I am going to need to have to put down a tar coke oven gas, 2 thingies over there. So I did this before. Where did I do this? Here? Is this literally? No, it's not right. It's not right across the street, but it's close enough. I'm going to grab that. And wherever I did the thing, here, I'm gonna like put this off to the side. And that's gonna be the tar and the coke oven gas. Enough of both. Where's Ollie? Ollie. He's meowing. He's calling. He's calling me. The resin, the hydroxide, the plates, the kickout, there's Ollie. The guts and the wood stacks and the twofer. These are all going to be brought in by train, as well as the methane. And I'll just have to void all this other stuff. And we'll be fine. That'll be the aerogel. Yes, Mr. Cat rubbing my legs now. He's rubbing my legs now. So yeah, that was just the one thing that like annoyed me on the reporting. You know, besides the fact that like doom and gloom, it exploded. It was a failure. Like, you are technically correct. But the point was stage separation. And they got through the hot stage separation. So it was a success. They met their goals. They exceeded their goals, as far as I am aware. And it is only technically a failure in that it did not complete the full flight profile. And that, yes, there has to be a mishap investigation by the FAA. No, it will not take 4 months again to do the mishap investigation through the FAA. Because there's this very big thing that didn't happen this time that did happen last time, and that's that the FTS system actually worked exactly as it should have, which did not happen last time. That was one of the biggest causes of the delay of the certification for this second flight, was they had to go through the entire effort of making sure that the FTS system would work this time. And you know what they did? The only thing that they did? They added more explosives. A lot more. They like tripled the explosives for the flight termination system. Because apparently it didn't pack enough punch last time. It did go off. It just didn't cause the complete catastrophic failure of the rocket in a timely manner. It took like close to a minute for it to actually really blow up after the FTS went off on flight 1. But this time, immediate kaboom. Looked spectacular. Yeah, now since it worked and they know it worked, it's not as much effort for their mishap investigation. They won't have to do as much as last time. Ideally. It also helps that there's not as much cleanup. They didn't like blow up their ground support infrastructure. They don't have a big massive crater to repair like last time. They didn't have concrete flying everywhere. There was some debris, light items I saw off of this flight too. There was still some debris. It looks like they blew off the roof of one of the nearby buildings. But they're going to clean it up. They're going to reinforce things. They're going to make sure that they clean up a bit better of anything that can get thrown away. For their next flight, there's still going to be steps that they have to take to mitigate some of the things that did happen. But yeah, I think Flight 3 will definitely be completely successful. And we also have to keep in mind that the next boosters that they have are even more advanced. They keep technologically advancing the boosters as they go along. This one that they just launched was actually a bit of a hybrid between old and new. They're switching their system to control the engines from hydraulic based to electrical. So they had hydraulic motors, and they're converting them in these future boosters to being fully electric, which, yeah, that's a big change right there. They're going to have to make sure it's all tested out on their next flight. That on its own is a big change. So yeah, there's continuous advancements being made on these designs. So we'll have to see how long it takes before they're ready for this next one. It's likely not going to happen until 2024, though. I'm going to say right now that the next flight is likely at least January. It's not going to happen in a month. By Christmas, it's not going to happen by Christmas. It's at minimum January, if not February of next year for the next test flight. If I had to hazard a guess. I like following the development of the literal most powerful rocket in the world. All right, we're gonna head off. We have 25 productivity modules made now. I'm gonna go to Circuit 2s. We're gonna place down these beacons, beaconing the productivity effect of Circuit 2s. And I will go to the Aerogel factory and we'll start building that out. And that should be pretty quick, actually. I know we've got about an hour left in today's stream. Unless someone extends it by an hour. Today would actually not be a particularly good day to extend the stream by an hour. I'll still do it, but do have to do things after the stream. Today, there's actually work to do after the stream. Not really work, but, you know, other engagements. But it does not matter exactly the timing on those, so feel free to extend the stream if you want to extend the stream. Or help to extend the stream. I went and I put the thing to go to the place that I didn't want to go yet. I want to go to Circuit 2s. Circuit 2s are way over here. Oh boy. A building of this size. How will I arrange the doohickeys? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have that. So you can be like a tile gap away. I'm pretty sure that as a 5-5 would work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, only 4 are going to fit on the side here. So I will at least maybe just do 1 or 2 on the left for the AM5s. I just need to get 5 AM5s like adjacent, directly adjacent, and then the others can just be a grid, 4x5 grid. As I, get them. I won't have enough at the moment. That's how many I have. So I have the full AM5 and the full AM4 and one of the AM3s. I also need to pay attention to other entities. I don't think I have any of the stacking belt boxes here. Because, unfortunately, stacking belt boxes count as an affected entity, and I don't really know why. I discovered this, last time. in the other playthrough. You have to hit confirm, buddy. Four, five, four, 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 three, four, two, one, three, one. Power to the everything. Modules in the everything. And now this building has 296% productivity. And there's 14 more modules we can add, more beacons we can add. Now, each one successfully less effect, but yeah, this will be about the plus 400 range, I think. Closer to plus 400. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly what the total multiplier is for all of the beacon effects on the diets. That's 2.52, 1.51, and 0.5. And for the 4s, we've got 2, 1.6, 1.2, 0.8, 0.4. Got 0.3 on the AM3s. FM1. Oh, that should be FM5. Oops, that can be a little stronger. Oh well. I can't really remotely change it. Grab my water. Because I added pollution effect to beacons somewhere, that means that I can use creature modules. That means I could beacon creature buildings with additional creature module effects up to the same amount of module effect as maxing the number of beacons around the thing. I also have access to Bob's beacons once I get into purple science. Bob's 2 and 3 beacons. Those are better at affecting a single building. These are actually better at affecting multiple buildings. They're more efficient for multiple buildings, and they do save on modules a lot. The Bob's beacons use up quite a few buildings, or quite a few modules, actually, since it's, what, 6 per beacon? And you get the full effect of all 6. But you can have, like, infinite beacons. But yeah, and those will be better overall. But we have to get to the point where we can actually use them. Those will be better for the single buildings, like Circuit 2s. And with them, through the power of the Bob's beacons, since we can transmit productivity now, did you know that productivity has a cap? It is the same as the speed cap. 65,000% as some odd plus a little bit. Or no, it's 32,000 some odd percent. It's half of 6555. Yeah. Yeah. With Bob's beacons on a single building, being able to transmit productivity with the max level modules, we can hit that cap. Realistically speaking, we'd end up capped out on the ability to get stuff in and out of a building by that point. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We don't have it now. We don't have access now. We will have access later. We're going to use what we do have to hopefully speed up this process, and ideally to improve the performance of the game, because ultimately that's the main point, is to improve the performance of the game, because it's struggling right now. And I do believe that a lot of it has to do with the fact that the graphic size is so large on these buildings, but that would only explain the VRAM use and not the CPU use. For whatever reason, the CPU use is just huge in Pyandons mods, just in general. But you're also building at a scale that is unprecedented in any other mod set for the specific points of the game that you're at. That's just a combination of factors. The game just can't take it. The game is just incapable of handling something this enormously complex through the entire save. So we're gonna break it. Really? I was honestly not expecting that. I was not expecting to not have any regular trees. I guess I must have removed that request and never put, without actually thinking about things. Yeah, I should have regular trees. I don't use the Mark IIs ever, like, for all builds now. I should, but I currently don't. So this build is the build for the Aerogel. We are working on the Aerogel. We are actually doing it. We are currently, all of this is to make coke oven gas on this particular one, and the other one is for tar. Makes tar and syngas, but tar is the biggie. Oh, you also are missing connection. There we go. Power to the everything. And wood there, plus there. That kickstarts things. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll have to be thinking with beacons soon too. So in the later game, with beacons with Bob's beacons, Bob's level 3 beacons, having the ability to put in creature modules with Bob's beacons around the incredibly large life buildings will actually be of benefit to increase the speed of life buildings an amount. It's not a gigantic, like, major difference, but it is still a difference. Of course, by then, you will have access to higher mark level buildings and better recipes that, generally speaking, are much better in terms of the number of buildings that are required for a build. But it would just reduce it further. What it would also do is actually make Simics worth considering for the intense transmutation recipes, but no. Because everything else is still significantly better. It may make them tolerable, but still not worth it. Okay, how much of this did I place? All the way through the end. Okay, good. Good. So it's just logistics now. It's just logistics, bringing in some things, sending out some things, and having my... Excuse me. Really? 0. Ooh, that's painful. Do I even? There's 8. I would need 11. AKA, I would need 22 Mark 1s. 23 Mark 1s. Even worse. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do that then. Now the other thing with with Factory Planner, they do allow you to put a beacon in here, but you have to specifically set the type, and you can't add more. Like, I can't tell this to have that as a beacon, as well as all of the other permutations of the diet beacons. I can only tell it the 5-5 and none of the others. Now, I could figure out, like, understand that if I want to calculate the full gamut, add all the numbers together and then figure out, like, what combination of amount in total would equal that, like which specific type, if multiplied by a whole number value, at least comes close, and just set the value there on that setting. And that can give a decent enough approximation. Mr. Cat, what are you doing? Ah yes, I also need voiding. I have that It's right there. I need to have that. Outputting the phenol to void. What does this factory actually look like? We need one fluid in, and a few solids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solids. Whoopsies. Let there be methane. Way up here. Wood bricks and tufa. I call them wood bricks just because they look pretty much like the angels wood bricks. It's just stacked wood in this case. Tufra, potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Titanium and key calc, key calc. Key calc into fiber into coal dust. Oh yeah, and I need guts. Right. Bring on the guts. Who the heck needs limestone? Which step? Resorcinol? No, the actual RF gel. Way down the line. All right. Down you go. Titanium in. That's here. Okay, that's formaldehyde in. Only formaldehyde in? Yes. Ada only. All right. Next, need to get the titanium requested and brought in. Then what? Here's titanium. Good thing I've scaled my plates. I'll need to scale them more, harder, faster, stronger. What are the other solids? Melamine, resin, and sodium hydroxide. Not stacked on the melamine resin. Interesting. Sodium hydroxide is. Pyrox ores. That's stacked. Unstack, go up. That makes resorcinol. Da, 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 da. Really? You copied that? Alright, walk down the line. Make sure to avoid the tailings. Acetone. Yay, you're working. I need some voiding of you, and of you. There we go. Da-da-dum. Bum. Just add titanium. Just add titanium and that's acetone. Just add melamine resin and sodium hydroxide and that's the resorcinol. Donk, no. And that would be RF gel. RF gel leading into clear RF gel, leading into soaked gel with the acetone. And then that goes directly into Aerogel. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da. There's the titanium. It is here. And that is Aerogel. See, that didn't take too awfully long once I started building the factory. The builds are getting a bit faster now, which is always nice. Of course, I only built it to 1 per second, and I will modify as I get beacons. But that is something that is going to be a base-wide modification that I will absolutely be doing off-screen, between streams. Aerogel. Our focus of each stream is going to be trying to progress into Pi 3. Working through technologies to get towards Pi 3. Let's see, Pi 3. Where are you? Where are you? Pi 3. You should be like here. There. We still need a few technologies. Got that, and we've got the Crydron. I need the biofilm for the graphene, for the negasium. And I need the genetics as well for some stuff in there to eventually end up in Pi 3. Yeah, so there's still quite a lot to get through to get into this. I need Dingret spikes, don't I? Yes, I do for the propeptides. But that's if I do. Yeah, I'm gonna need the calmodulin binding mutant peptides. We will need those. Which means we'll need Bodos, which means I gotta do the fuel cells for Bodos. The fuel cells, the fuel rods for Bodos. Ay. Big yawn. 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 You're almost there. You've almost made it. You are almost there. Just get into this building, please. Let us see some aerogel. I would like to see aerogel, the jelliest of aero. This is going to come down here into this light oil refinery. I could make Mark IIs, but not yet. Not yet. Sort of need to scale up the outputs of the stuff for the Mark IIs, the ingredients for the Mark IIs. Not too much point otherwise. All right, you are moving. And then this will make cumene. Whole point was to make cumene. So this will make cumene, and this will Send the cumene into here to make acetone. Less phenol, but acetone is the primary thing that it will make. Now down here, we've got resorcinol moving, which means that we shall now start getting some RF gel. It will come down and it will get washed in a centrifuge into clear RF gel. I said it will come down and it will get washed into clear RF gel. There you go. That will take a while, because apparently this is a very slow recipe. Oh yeah, you output solids, don't you? See, this is why I watch the thing. To make sure that I resolve issues like that. Especially since this is a 70-second craft time. Oh boy. "70 seconds times nearly 2 because of the current speed of this." Now, do you just go with 1? Yes, you go with just 1. So once this completes its cycle, as I said, this takes a while. Once this completes its cycle, it will go into the washer to wash with acetone. Oh boy. Yes, getting an acetone bath. There it goes. Success. Come on down. Come on down. This recipe lasts 4 seconds. And it makes a fluid soaked gel. And that will go in here. And once I get 2 cycles, we'll get 4 aerogel. Yay. And I think that there's a milestone. I guess not, because we just got aerogel and no milestone triggered. Oh well. We got aerogel. Huzzah. I can define aerogel. Ta-da! Good. Good. We're good now. So, what are the next steps? What do we have access to of the things that we need to do to get into PyScience 3? As I head back to the mall to pick up a few of the things that we have probably made by now. Looks like I've only gotten additional productivity modules, which is fine. I will need to force more beacons to happen. We shall need to... Oh god, I actually need the thingy, don't I? I might need the thingy. If this starts really backing up. We have 315 sitting here. If that train can't move them fast enough, I may need to add another train. That'd be a good problem to have. Or I may need to adjust the amount that it holds in its wagons. Still, though, quite nice. Having 296% productivity. So plus 100 is double the output. Plus 200 is triple the output. Being at nearly plus 300 is 4. Is quadruple the output. So for every cycle, we get, you know, close to 3 more for free on top of the one that we paid for. Which I guess with circuit 2s, that's what, 5 per cycle? So that would be close to 20 per cycle now for the same cost as 5. It is nice. It is nice, and it will only improve from there. I have to do this for the circuit 2s. I will then also do it for the self-assembly monolayer material, or SAM, because that can also be a limiting factor on infrastructure. I want to focus on the infrastructure improvements. This will also mean that I could and probably should redesign the entirety of the mall. Oh yeah, I can adjust the beacon from 3 to 5. I can do that. I am going to come here to get my prod modules, which they've already grabbed and are bringing to me. I am going to do that next. I just want to have my... restock. Want that to happen, but unfortunately, because I just walked outside of my zone, logistics zone, they're going to end up coming here and then delivering to me. Oh well. Oh wellsies. Oh wellsies. Yeah, because everything at the moment is Circuit 2 limited and not... It's not even SAM limited at the moment, it's only Circuit 2s, but as soon as I address the Circuit 2 limitation, SAM will be the next limitation. And then once I get through that, it's also going to be advanced small parts, if only because these buildings are requesting a stack at a time for each and every individual Mark II building. It's a very large advanced small parts consumption / buffer that's needed here. So the advanced small parts are also a limiting factor. I will need to buff those as well. So advanced small parts, SAM, and Circuit 2's top 3 on my mind right now. And really not too much else. Neck slip plates, yeah. Stainless steel, yes, as well. But really those 3 things, and actually regular small parts as well, those have been a bit of an issue lately. I actually had to increase my small part production because I didn't actually have enough. I didn't have enough for science. For automation science. I didn't have enough automation science to keep up with my rate of tech. Now the limit is Pi 1. I have to buff Pi 1 next to keep up with my chem science production. I actually have more chem science production than, like, by ratio than some of the other back-end ones. And I need to scale the back-end sciences to keep up with the limited chem science that I even have now. Now you'll also notice here I have done a thing. If I haven't pointed out that I've done this yet. I added more labs. We're now at 80 labs, and I sushied. We are sushi belting. They're sushi belts. They're moving. They're always moving. That's the point. Sushi conveyor belts. Round and around we go on the sushi belts, and they're being fed in with extra splitters, with the priority input being what's already on the belt. So it's, if it doesn't need to feed in new stuff, it won't feed in new stuff. It only feeds in new stuff when it needs to feed in new stuff, and it can otherwise constantly move. And if for whatever reason you get contents within the splitter itself, within the splitter's buffer, it can end up stopping. Rather than constantly move, it could end up just stopping. Which I found a little weird, but okay. Sure. So it's all moving. Now, I realized that the reason you want it to always be moving is so that all of the labs can have an equal chance-ish of grabbing things, of having the science, so that you don't end up in a situation where you have science at the end of the belt line and not have science at the beginning of the belt line, and thus only part of your lab line is actually moving. Where you only end up with like a few labs at the end of the line moving. If you have it rotating like this, it will constantly be moving them back to the beginning so that the ones at the beginning can pick up more. And you can actually consume your sciences more evenly across your lab array. So that if you are out and none of them will have it. But until then, you're going to be approximately evenly consuming on all of the labs. So you can count on all of your labs processing, or none of your labs processing. All or nothing. Rather than slow, super slow. All right, we've been delivered. We even got a beacon. We even got another beacon. So we're going to go back to Circuit 2s now because, yes, I have to change this beacon to be a 3-5. And then I'm going to add this next one, and this is going to be a 3-4. And it will buff this to above plus 300%. At least it should. From there, we will make plans. We will spend the rest of this stream planning out the next steps for getting into Pi Science 3. And I need to, like, you know, move over there. So Pi Science 3, we have diamonds. Did I even do the thingy for diamonds? No. We have diamond, which is actually a direct ingredient. For the Circuit 3s. But this also will give me access to diamond wires, which are a necessary component for upgrading the production of silicon wafers. Silicon wafers have 3 different recipes that you unlock as time goes on, and they'll use different slab types. This first thing just takes electronics grade silicon directly. The next one that we get access to, I believe, is a monosilicon plate. Polycrystalline silicon plate. Poly is first and then mono later. Effectively, it will increase the amount of wafers you get per unit aramid by using these more efficient recipes, these later game recipes. They do gain a bit of complexity in the process, and they will start costing diamond wires, which are quite expensive to make. But yeah, that extra amount of output per unit aramid is actually quite nice. It is very nice. Very, very nice. Ooh, it's also going to be nice. What will also be nice is beaconing productivity around an atomizer, atomizing Tufra to Moly ore. That will be useful, quite useful as well, to get more Moly. And, you know, doing the same thing to the Moly plate output before that, because that's going to have bigger impact overall in terms of priorities. Just starting from that as late of stuff as you're comfortable with, and then moving down the chains will be more efficient in general. From what I can tell, oh good, you are able to keep up eventually. Good. So this actually needs to be AM5. That way we actually get 30% productivity out of use. That brings it up to how much? 320%. And then this one being an AM3 FM4 with productivity will bring us to 344% productivity. 344. Yeah, 344. And we still need the AM3, FM3, FM2, FM1, AM2, 54321, and AM1, 54321, affecting this building. And I can see that getting at least to plus 400, or around plus 400, but we'll see what the actual final percentage value is. Oh, look, it did a cycle. It's doing cycles. It's cycling. Hey. Making up to 8.8 per second for the one building, per building, for the cost of one cycle. Once I get all the beacons around this, all the 25 affecting this one building, then the goal becomes get this building operating with 100% uptime. So going item by item, making sure that I can get at least this much production, getting the productivity around all of these items so that then this building can run at 100% uptime. And once this is running at 100% uptime, that's already a significant bonus over what I previously had, being 8.88 per second. Then I can move on to the other items like the SAM and the advanced small parts. But yeah, getting this is priority 1. Absolutely priority 1. Getting that moving with 100% uptime at the most productive it can be. Because that will speed up all of the other processes. It's just gonna take some time. So, on the path to Pi 3, what have I unlocked? I have unlocked acrylic as well as tributyl phosphate, and that will need some subdenier. Will it need that? What is required here to get into acrylic? We need acrylonitrile, methyl acrylate, acetone, natural gas. That sucks. Natural gas as natural gas. And then sulfuric acid and ammonia. Okay. Ethylene chlorohydrin, methanol, sulfuric acid, nickel plates, or methanol, carbon dioxide, acetylene, and cobalt oxide. Oh god. 2 not kind things. I'm gonna choose the ethylene chlorohydrin, though. Cobalt oxide can go to hell. Yeah, I think I'd rather spend the silver, unfortunately. Have I even unlocked the silver upgrade yet? I don't think I did yet. And then for the acrylonitrile, we also get options here. I think the lignin is the better option. Lignin is the best option here. And another moly sink. Great. Fantastic. Yeah, lignin is like free, which is why I want that one. So we can work on acrylic next time. The tributyl phosphate is a bit of effort and is more silver. Or titanium dioxide. I think I would go the ethanol route because there might be more opportunities for productivity to go that route. This is basically free, though propene can be a bit expensive. And then I have to make acrolein, that's back here. That's just a glycerol. Glycerol or more propene and chromium. So that's why this is a requirement. Alright. Alright. Okay, well, that will be the plan. Acrylic, probably, and tributyl phosphate. I think that's the plan, because you need the tributyl phosphate for the advanced substrate for the bio ore. And then the acrylic is a direct ingredient into Pi 3. And we'll see how much else I unlock between now and then. Because there is stuff like I have boron access. We can do boron. We can do cobalt processing. Yes, we could do potentially collagen. And we'll see what other stuff I end up unlocking by then. There's the nanocrystalline cellulose that gets unlocked. That's involved in negasium. I will not have that unlocked by then. We'll have Arthurians. I could do Arthurians soon. Yeah, but I think next time we meet, the goal will be getting into acrylic. I think that's just gonna be the name of our next stream day. Will be acrylic, and we can work on acrylic. And I'm seeing that as the time ticks down here, we are at the end of our stream for the day. Over the course of the day, today, on this stream, we started off by wrapping up in our diamond build. We did the diamond, and we completed the diamond. Yeah, it would appear as if I may have to deal with byproducts. And I have yet again had some amount of stacked stuff there that needs to die, so I'm just gonna drive over there, work on that between streams, get that fixed. But yeah, we have the industrial diamonds. They exist now. They're happy to exist. And once I did that, we've changed a setting. We changed a setting so that we could beacon productivity, because I figure, you know what? This is frickin' productive, Pyanodons. We're going to be productive and do all of the shenanigans. I have made my choice now. I have changed my mind, because I had said earlier in this series that I did not intend on doing that because I thought it was a bit too strong. But you know what? This is frickin' productive, Pyanodons. This series is productive, Pyandons. We're going to be as productive as we possibly can get. And we will do all of the shenanigans. And then we built Aerogel in our spare time at the end of the stream. You know, the point of today's stream with the name of the title, Aerogel, the goal. we did that in our second half. We got it done. We got Aerogel. It's moving. Ish. And yeah. Now I've got some work ahead of me on stuff. What are we gonna do after beat Pi? I don't know. Probably the Omni plus Pi. We have reached the end of the stream though. You arrived just in time for the very end. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been a Talk Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. If you're watching the VODs, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Consider becoming a subscriber on Twitch as well. Since I do simulcast on Twitch, got all the things on there too. Consider becoming a patron on Patreon, patreon.com/TalkShow if you're so inclined and able as well. And I will be back with more on Tuesday. Reminder, I am not streaming on Thursday. I might need to remind myself that I'm not streaming on Thursday. I'll be back on Tuesday with more. I hope to see you all then.